Have you ever wondered what happens to leftover but perfectly good produce from supermarkets, cafes and restaurants? Normally it would be headed for the bin, but OzHarvest rescues food and delivers it to those in need.
Essentially, we're helping the agencies that work in the community with vulnerable and disadvantaged people, adding so much value to the work that they do, but also helping the environment by saving that food from landfill. So in the past 4 years that we've been operating in South Australia, we have now rescued more than 2.8 million meals.
OzHarvest driver Di took me out for a day in the truck, Buttercup, on a route through Adelaide's CBD and western suburbs.
A typical day isn't really that typical in the sense that you always know where you're going to drop off and pick up, but all sorts of things happen and there's no guarantees.
Not far into the day, Di receives a call about 10,000 lamingtons, left over from the Adelaide Convention Centre's world record.
We carry all sorts of things. We carry raw meat, we carry dairy, we carry fruit and veg, we carry bread, cakes, you name it. So it's the driver's responsibility to make sure that first and foremost what they pick up is something that they would want to eat, because you don't want to give it away if you don't want to eat it.
Di has worked in hospitality most of her life and has experienced firsthand the frustration of throwing away good food.
It was particularly in Adelaide because legislation didn't change here until the end of 2010. So it was fabulous from being on the other side to be able to donate food finally and know that it was going to be picked up in a timely fashion and it was going to a good place. Absolutely.
We do orders daily and we also have a lot of leftovers every day as well. So we like to just give back to the community by giving all of our leftovers to OzHarvest. And obviously that way it gets to go to people who need it and it's not wasted.
Because the food that we're bringing them is better quality, more nutritious, fresher than they could usually afford. They're just so grateful for any support that we can give them. But we hear wonderful stories about the clients and the people in the community. They then get given the food. People in tears. Helping people with their the kids getting school lunches and those sorts of things. Food is just so much more than just feeding people. It's about everything that comes along with that.
Sometimes we have people come over who say that they've got nothing in the fridge or the freezer, and particularly at Christmas time we had women crying because it made a difference that their kids would actually have food on the table.
We get a lot of produce from them fairly regularly, a lot of fresh stuff, a lot of good stuff, stuff that we wouldn't normally buy, which is really good, so we're able to give our clients a choice, and variety. It's generally pretty nutritious as well, so it's really good.
Wherever we go, people are happy to see us generally. They're happy because we can pick things up that they have no use for, but there's nothing wrong with them and they don't want to throw them in the bin, and we can take them to people who are just so grateful to see us because it means that their families will get fed or their kids will get something for lunch.